So let's talk a little bit about Sarah. Okay. So when you started writing the book, did you always see it from her point of view? And then not only that, but leading up to the accident, each chapter has a dream that Sarah has, and it's sort of a foreboding. Was that also part of, the magic of Sarah's story?
Well, no. I originally started writing this story in the omniscient point of view. Mm-hmm. And because I'm going to be writing about a character who's unaware of the left half of everything. So I thought I really should be pulling back, wide angle lens, get everybody's input on this to be able to communicate to the reader what the heck is going on. Probably about 3 chapters in, I was really feeling very distant from Sarah mm-hmm. and not intimately connected. And I just wasn't, she was feeling a little cold and clinical to me.
Yeah.
I wanted her to feel like one of your girlfriends.
Yes.
And I wanted the story to feel like she was telling her story to a close friend. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't getting that. So I went back and I took a deep breath and said, all right, I'm going to tell this in the first person. And I immediately liked her and I immediately connected with her. But I thought, oh crap, what have I just done to myself? Because now once she gets in her accident and has this condition, I have mm-hmm. to now communicate to you, the reader, what she's not aware of
right.
through her eyes. And there were several times where I felt a little trapped by that, but I figured out how to do it. The dreams were so much fun to write. I read a couple of books on dream analysis, mm-hmm. and then I just let loose with sort of what might be going on below the surface with her. I wanted this book to, the condition left side neglect is sort of a metaphor for all the things that we're unconscious of. So here's a condition that is a clinical, pathological inattention. And you're not able to be consciously aware of the left side of everything. Mm-hmm. But just in our day-to-day life, what are we not consciously aware of? What do we keep just below the surface because it's easier or because we're too busy? And those things tend to sort of come out in mm-hmm. your dreams, trying to let you know what you're not consciously aware of every day.
Yes.
So in addition to all the stuff that's going on in her waking life, that she's, tripping over toys and she's ignoring the exercise equipment because she doesn't want to deal with that, or she's ignoring the distanced relationship between her and her mother because it's easier not to look at that, or she's ignoring the fact that she and Bob aren't as close as they used to be, or all of the things that she's ignoring during her waking life are also playing out in her dreams, mm-hmm. and they're becoming increasingly anxious and increasingly bothered by the fact that really sort of knocking loudly on her consciousness, saying, hey, Sarah, wake up. Wake up to what's going on in your life. You cannot continue like this mm-hmm. for much longer. Something's got to give.
And I'm kind of curious because the accident itself, when you kind of look at left side neglect and you talk about people who've had strokes, things of that nature, but the reason Sarah has it is that she was multitasking in her car and not paying attention. Mm-hmm. And we all know that that's kind of prevalent right now with distracted driving.
Yes,
and is that kind of why you chose that?
Absolutely. I'm talking about, I'm sort of making a comment on our lives now and how, we have great technology that allows us to do 5 things at once. Mm-hmm. We've got instant messaging and email and Facebook and the scroll on CNN and your kids are there's so much going on at once now, and we're sort of used to that fast pace. But what are we missing out on by spreading our attention so thin? Mm-hmm. Our brains really can't handle that amount of information all at once, really. We're not truly paying attention to any one thing when we're doing so many things at once.
Yes.
So yes, left side neglect is usually a condition that follows a stroke in the right hemisphere or a hemorrhage in the right hemisphere. Mm-hmm. It less frequently happens with head trauma. But I wanted Sarah I wanted her crazy, hectic inattention and multitasking to be the cause of what gives her this condition and makes her slow down.
Right.
And I think the biggest sort of thing we're hearing in the news, on Oprah, mm-hmm. sort of collectively as a culture right now is to stop texting while you're driving, stop being on the phone while you're driving. Mm-hmm. It's not safe to you or anyone else on the road.
Yeah. There's the poster that is in the rehab center. And again, because of her left side neglect, what she assumes she's seen is kind of like a fist pumping with the word attitude. And she kind of takes that as her, okay, I can do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to
fight
it, and I'm going to, I'm going to get better, and I'm going to achieve. I always have to achieve, and she's just, she always has to be the one. It's even when they're asking her questions, she's like, sweet, I answered the question right. I got an A. And it was like, it was really, you're just supposed to answer the question. You didn't need to achieve anything. But the momentum kind of shifts, because then as she's getting through her rehab and understanding what she needs to do, she's leaving and she realizes that the poster really says gratitude.
Yes.
And it's two hands sort of shaking or holding each other.
Hands.
And that really for her she's going home. She's going back to her kids. She's going back to her life. But I feel like that is where she kind of starts to shift and see that she's got to take a step back.
You got
so,
it.
Yeah. No, it was just breathtaking. So,
it is a big shift for her.
Yes.
And that's really, the crux of the story is, how does she change? How does this condition change her? And not just this fascinating, bizarre condition of how does someone experience left side neglect, but how does that condition and the forcing her to slow down and reassess and take a look at her life, and is she really choosing the life she wants to live, and that's best for her and her family, and it gives her the space and the opportunity to reevaluate and change in a really big way. And seeing all of that poster and what that then means, rather than just being able to see this very narrow slice of it, is the beginning of her transformation.